Let us look at proposition number 32 of book 10 of Euclid's Elements. The proposition says to find two medial straight lines commensurable in square only, containing a medial rectangle such that the square on the greater is greater than the square on the less by the square on a straight line commensurable with the greater. Okay. Now, if you compare this to our previous proposition, there we had to find two medial straight lines commensurable in square only, containing a rational rectangle. Here we are talking of containing a medial rectangle. Okay, let's see how we can do that. Set out straight lines ABC such that ABC are rational and commensurable in square only, and A square is greater than C square by a square on the straight line commensurable with A. Let D square is equal to A times B. What this means is that we have to find D such that the square on that straight line is equal to the rectangle contained by A by B. We know how to do that. So let me bring it in. Since A by B is medial. Now, how can we say A by B is medial? Because they are two straight lines, rational and commensurable in square only. So they are medial, which means because of this equality, the square on D is also medial. Now, next is to find E such that the rectangle contained by D and E is equal to the rectangle contained by B and C. Now let's bring in that. So D by E is equal, the area of the rectangle contained by D and E is equal to the area contained by B and C. So rectangle A by B is to rectangle B by C as A is to C. A is a side of this rectangle. C is a side of this rectangle. So they are in proportion. D square is to D times E is equal to A is to C. How can we make this statement? If you look at this rectangle A by B, that is equal to D square or the square on D. So we substitute rectangle A by B by the square on D. Similarly, if you look at rectangle B by C, that is equal to the rectangle D by E. So we do the substitution so that we end up with this proportion. B square is to D by E is equal to A is to C. Okay, but this is also a proportion. B square is to D by E is equal to D is to E. Again, these are the two sides of these two figures. So which means we can say A is to C is equal to D is to E, which means D is commensurable with E in square only. Why? Because A is commensurable with C in square only. D is medial. How is D medial? Because D is the side of a square equal to the rectangle A by B, where A and B are rational and commensurable in square only. So if D is medial, that means E is also medial. A square is greater than C square by a square on the straight line commensurable with A. Because of this proportion A is to C equal to D is to E, we can say that D square is greater than E square by a square on the straight line commensurable with D. Rectangle B by C is medial because again B and C are rational and commensurable in square only. And again, because of this proportion, we can say rectangle D by E is also medial. So we have found two straight lines D and E such that E square is greater than E square by a square on the straight line commensurable with D, and the rectangle contained by D and E is medial. So that is proposition number 32 of book 10 of Euclid's Elements. Again, let me remind you, there is a link to a PDF book which describes all these propositions in detail. Please feel free to download it, refer to it, and if you think somebody else can also benefit from it, please do share. That's it for now. Bye.